What's up, guys? RC here with another episode. Today I had a fantastic idea to do an episode on what's inside my backpack. Right over there. Yes, of course you need a backpack. And here's mine. I decided to go with a backpack, not a shoulder bag, for the reason that at this point it's quite heavy already. It's going to be heavily loaded with the content inside, which we're going to be talking about soon. And I just prefer having the load, split on my back instead of having it swing on one side. This bag I have is also nicely cushioned, to keep your backs healthy and protected. Right? And also, I decided to go with a bigger bag because in the upcoming semesters, we're gonna be having to bring our lab coats and other materials for the anatomy suits, so I would like to have it all fit in one place. So then let's see what's inside. Alright, so if you take a first glance in there, I think I'm just gonna start here with my college block. Yes, before you guys scream, yes, I'm still one of the old school kind of people. I prefer to take my notes written on paper because that's just what I'm used to. I'm sorry. I know there are different types of learners. That's just for me. I prefer writing things down, and that's how I retain most of the information myself. So for me, this is a definitely must. And yeah, maybe in the future I'll make a video on how I take my notes, and then you guys can see why I prefer taking my notes in the written format. So yeah, the first item is my college log. And then if you check here and see, yes, once again, before you guys go in, I do prefer writing on paper, but of course, my MacBook in here. It's the year 2020, guys. You would be crazy not to have a notebook for your studies. Guys, the reason I'm stressing this so much is because with the notebook, you get access to applications like Anki and Complete Anatomy. I don't want to say that you can't do it without them, but why the heck would you not make use of these applications if they're out there for you to use? And if they're just going to help you, get to your goal. The notebook eases the preparation process for you for your classes. For example, when the professor uploads the lecture material beforehand, then you can have the slides open and have another window open with YouTube, and then just go over the material again until you get comfortable. This flexibility you won't have with other devices. Spoilers ahead, which I'll be talking about later. But it's in my view, it's a definite must-have. I need access to the slides or other script materials that we're using. So definitely, it's a good idea to have a laptop or something like a MacBook that you can work with while you're in a library or somewhere taking notes, So that's definitely my second must-have item in my backpack at least. And then let's go on and see here. Let's see. It's the iPad. Yes. Although I said that I prefer writing in a written format, I think investing in an iPad is also a very, very, very useful idea in today's age, because as you can see, here is one of the lectures slides that we received, and you can already see that I have taken notes on here, and I think it's a very powerful tool that the iPad allows you to do, that while you are having these slides open during the lecture, that you can, jot some points down, or whatever the lecturer is saying quickly onto the slide, exactly where the content is, so that when you go back to review, you have instant access to it. So once again, it depends on what type of learner you are. So if you are one who prefers typing out the notes and such, definitely go for the iPad. But also if you are a person who prefers writing things down, you may also consider getting the iPad, because you can also, you know, get the stylus and still write and have all these notes instantly on the slides right away. Another very useful tool with the iPad is, for example, for lab days. On those days when they ask you to bring a script, which tend to be between 50 to 100 pages long, imagine having an iPad and having them all conveniently in one place. Yeah, very useful. And another benefit is that while you're in the lab, you can also just jot down your data right away, and then you have them nicely laid out on a table that you can work on later once you leave the lab. I mean, I'm surely aware that there are a variety of different learners amongst you guys, you know, those who prefer, like me, on a written format, you know, learning in a written style, or those who prefer, you know, having it digitally for whatever reason. Yeah, but yeah, you just have to decide and see what type of learner you are and see what fits you. But I would still definitely recommend the iPad because it's very useful. Okay, then on to the next item, which you slightly already saw, but this is my calculator. And yes, you don't have to invest into a crazy one, just a normal standard one will do. I decided to go with this one here from HP, no ads intended, but we do some complex calculations. So I think, yeah, it's a kind of must-have that you have to have. And yeah, so my calculator. Alrighty. And then last but not least, this is one of the scripts I have. Today I only have my anatomy one with me, but maybe later on I'll do a separate video on what kind of books or materials that would be useful for your studies. But the reason why I carried them with me, well, today only this one because I only needed this one today, is that these are the scripts for the preclinical work. Of course, this is in German, so I don't know if you can read German, you may understand. But I think it's a very good idea to invest in one of these because they have the information that we're learning very condensedly and nicely laid out here. So you can at any point just go to these scripts and just look at the content that you're learning, and then you get the general idea or how important it is, the content that you're learning, right? So yeah. So these are like my must-have essentials for things in my backpack while I'm out.